Wowzers. I can see 946 miles with these Vortex binoculars. You want a pair? I tell you what, we'll give you a pair. All you gotta do, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you do that, you're liking our videos, you're commenting on our videos, we'll give away a pair. Get ready, guys. Vortex binocular giveaway coming soon. What's up, guys? First things first, we're booking clients. The upcoming travel season's coming after the deer season. And if you even think for a second that you're not holding enough bucks on your property or anything like that, don't wait to get into season to decide that, because we book up fast. We had turned on people last year, probably gonna turn down people again this year. Anywhere from South Dakota, over to Ohio, down to Tennessee, everywhere in between, guys. That's where we go. So if you want to create a better property, better hunting parcel, and know exactly that you're doing the right things, head over to our website or send us a message. Send us a message on social media. Otherwise, whitetaillandmanagementservices.com. So, with that out of the way, let's get into today's topic. What is today's topic? How to keep velvet bucks on your property. So there's something that takes place in the whitetail woods every single year. You can't necessarily stop it from happening, or can you? It's called I call it the September shift, the fall shift. Okay, we have these bucks that they basically spend time in certain ranges. Okay, in the summer they tend to spend time, you know, maybe more agriculture, and it all depends where you are in the country. But they're going to spend the summer months in a certain portion of your area. Okay, and the reason that they're going to do that is because of their needs. They're in need of a super high protein diet at that point. To build antlers, to build bodies, up the body size and production, all these different things. So they're going to range basically based off of what food sources they need and adjust from there. Okay. So with that being said, you're going to see a lot of your deer obviously in the bean fields, in ag land, or places where there's good natural vegetation, some good weeds that I can think of, the ragweed, the pokeweed, things like that. Those are super high in protein, higher than your soybeans sometimes. A lot of people don't know that, and they want to take those out of their food plots, which, okay, I get it. You want it to look good, but trust me, those things have a benefit as well. But there's got to be a way that we can keep these deer on our property, and there is. So it all depends when your opener is, guys, and you need to know when your opener is to obviously plan accordingly so that we can keep these deer on the property. Because what will happen is in that first week of September, pretty much almost not a guarantee, but a high percentage of deer will drop their velvet. Why do they drop their velvet? They drop their velvet because obviously they're finished growing, but not only that, testosterone is rising, and that's what causes the drop of the velvet. Same thing in that time period. It's very often that I would say a high number, more deer than not, will leave that area and move on to their fall range. Sometimes they will stay, but let's try and get those bucks to for sure stay. You've watched this bean field buck all summer long, you know, this big 150, 60, 70, 100, 120, whatever that deer is, and you want to keep them there. What do we need to do? We need to plant accordingly. Does that mean fall food plots? Yes. Does it mean spring food plots? Yes. I mean, we're already past the spring food plot season, but there's still something that you can do right now. And like, food plot season is among us. So if you haven't planned your food plot yet, you are tuned into the right video, because there's certain things that we can do to ensure that those deer stay on our property and plant those certain things. Now, don't get me wrong. Let's take a step back for a second. Stay out of your property. Don't pressure the property. Don't go in and check your trail cameras every week. Don't go and drive through the property every week. Those are things that you should be going through in your head. Just leave the deer alone. But other than that, what can you do to ensure that they stay? Give them the appropriate food source that is going to still be attractive. So obviously, I like to plant soybeans in the spring. It's not spring anymore. And if I were to plant those soybeans in the spring, I'd always like to plant them a little bit later, or buy a forage bean that has a maturity rate that will allow that bean to still be green once my opener takes place. So this is where I said before, guys, you need to know when your opener is. If you're in Kentucky, there's a good chance your beans are green. Possibly not. I've had fields that turn yellow on me right as the opener hits and the deer shift, but that will help hold those deer. Okay, so plant accordingly in the spring. But right now it's fall. So what can we do? A lot of you are going to put in your green blend. You're going to put in your purple top turnips, your radishes, your brassicas, your rape, clovers, maybe a little bit. You're going to put all these things in, but think about it. Those things are generally a lot more attractive come end of September into October, November. So what I would recommend doing with your fall food plots is add soybeans in. So here's the thing that's going to happen. Those soybeans, assuming that, I mean, don't go and put them in a 1/4 acre and expect them to last. We know that they're super palatable and attractive this time of year. But if you have a little bit bigger food plot, even that 1/2 acre to acre, and maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more, guys, throw soybeans into that blend that you're buying at about 50 pounds per acre. Would be safe, because they're going to get browsed down. So you got to keep that in mind. But at the same time, if you still have green soybeans when your opener hits, those deer are searching for the high protein food source as they start to diminish. Those food sources start to diminish, things turn yellow, the food's not nearly as palatable. So if you're all of a sudden, they've been out on the big ag fields or out and about just in your timber, you know, browsing for high protein food sources all summer, and those start to diminish and change and turn and lose the palatability, you're going to have the next food source. And if you can have the next food source for your September 1 openers, your September 15th openers, it all depends on the state and give or take a couple days. Your October 1st openers, you could still have green soybeans. You could have done it in the spring, you could have done it in the fall. You still have a chance. So if you guys have been summer scouting and you see that there's a giant in your area and he's hitting your mineral licks, I'm here to tell you that your mineral licks are about to run dry. In the next month or so, you know, the end of August, they're just not going to need to hit them anymore, because the antler production is no longer taking place, and that's why they're seeking the minerals ultimately. So those minerals are not going to keep your deer on the property. They're not. They don't need them. So like I said, everything changes when that fall shift occurs, so you need to do something to keep those deer on your property. Have a palatable food source that is so attractive that the deer can't help themselves. And I think you're going to have a lot better chance of holding those deer after velvet drop, that shift takes place, keeping them on your property. Now, occasionally they'll just do it naturally. More times than not, I see them leave. Will they come back? It's possible. When? More likely or not during the rut to come check for the first, or even pre-rut to check for the first hot does. But if you want to keep those bucks on your property that you have right now in summer, that big velvet giant you've been watching all year, plant accordingly. Give him the palatable food source that he wants come the opener, and then strike. So if you like these tips, you like these videos, if you like free stuff, like, comment, subscribe on the video, and subscribe to the channel. If you do that, you're entered in the giveaway. And who doesn't like some free stuff? See you next video.